Well guys, the creepiness is already starting because as I was sitting down to film, my chair like all of a sudden spun and it made me face the closet. And I know that might not sound scary to you, but this closet has been freaking me out lately. So just like starting off that way has me unsettled. What is up, Rad family? Today we are exploring some creepy internet urban legends. We have covered lots of urban legends back in the day on this channel, but we're doing a little spin. Instead of going to a specific country, we are focusing on urban legends that have originated from the internet. So let's get to it. Urban legends, man. I love them. I love me a good urban legend, a good ghost story. These are the videos that give me nightmares though. It's like, well, Kaylena, you always seem afraid of everything that you film. Yeah, this is a horror channel, okay? If it doesn't scare you, well, know that it scares me enough for both of us. This is a creepy story about a deer, and this is from Reddit. Narration voice. A bunch of friends and I were out one night to do some urban exploring, hiking through the woods, etc. We were walking up a hill towards a connecting public park that was just kind of an open field with walking paths surrounded by dense woods. Okay, already laying the groundwork for a terrifying night, in my opinion. Standing on the edge of a tree line, we looked out into the open field and saw what we all thought was a deer. Not that strange, since deer are everywhere. We walk out into the field some more while watching the deer. As we get further out into the field, this deer stands up on two legs and covers about 100 yards in what seemed like only a few strides. This freaked us out and we left as fast as we could. What? Oh my goodness. Okay, I grew up camping. I loved camping. I have great memories of camping. That being said, I was a child and I was a naive, okay? Now I know what can be lurking in the woods. I've watched far too many scary movies to comfortably be outside in an open field at night. I don't care how many friends are with me, okay? That's not true. I guess if I had like 10 people with me, I would probably feel okay, but not if I saw this thing. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, here's another one from Reddit that has to do with ghosts. In Okinawa, there was a house near the USO on Kaylena, I'm butchering this, guys, I'm sorry, Air Force Base that was abandoned. A man killed himself and his family in it. It was said to be haunted. It was even part of the ghost tours they gave on base. Reports that the outside lights would turn on by themselves and creepy things were always happening. One story was that a woman could be seen washing her hair in the sink in the kitchen through a window. I mean, that's not like that's, well, no, I guess it's an abandoned house that is kind of scary, but like, that's not like the scariest thing, right? I mean, like, if she was staring at you from the window, that's scary. But like, she's just washing her hair? What an odd thing for, why would a ghost be washing their hair? The creepiest thing by far was that this house shared a chain link fence with a daycare building. My friend's mom worked at the daycare. Children about 4 to 5 years old would constantly throw toys over the fence. When asked why, they said they wanted to play with the children on the other side. All the kids saw these other children, but the adults could not. It thoroughly freaked out anyone who worked there. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah, I don't get it. Okay, kids. Little kids. Okay, little kids are the same as like animals when it comes to paranormal stuff. For some reason, all these stories say that they're like more susceptible and like open to seeing the paranormal. Why is that? I don't know, but it freaks me out. Like, even like when a kid talks about an imaginary friend, I have seen so many scary movies where that is like the premise, where like what you think is an imaginary friend turns out to be like a poltergeist. I don't want to sit here and just be like, oh, I can't even. But like, guys, like, no, if a little kid said that to me, I do not think I could fake bravery in that moment. I think I'd have to be like, yo, go back to your parent. I don't want to be around you anymore. Gosh, my voice is like giving out. I don't know if it's like my body's just like, no, let's like not read creepy things today. The killer in the window. A 15-year-old girl was babysitting her little sister while her parents went out to a party. She sent her sister off to bed around 9:30 while she stayed up to watch her favorite TV show. She sat in a recliner with a blanket and watched until it went off at around 10:30. After it went off, she turned around in her seat to face the big glass door and watch the snow fall. That's where she messed up. She sat there for about 5 minutes or so when she noticed a strange man walking towards the glass from outside. That literally just gave me goosebumps. She sat there staring as he stared at her back. Why would you do that? He started to pull a shiny object out from his coat. Thinking it was a knife, she immediately pulled the covers over her head, but about 10 minutes later, she removed the covers and saw that he was gone. She then called 911 and they rushed over. They examined outside for any footprints in the snow, but there were none to be found. 2 cops walked into her house to tell her the bad news, and they noticed a trail of big, wet footprints leading up to the chair where she was sitting. The cops came to their conclusion and immediately told the girl she was very lucky because the man she saw staring at her was not standing outside, but he was standing behind her, and what she saw was his reflection. Okay, goosebumps. Oh my god, this makes me so paranoid now. I hate reading stories about things that are behind you, guys. I wonder why. Because I'm paranoid, that's why. This idea would freak me out so much that I think I would have to like sit with my back against the wall. But okay, removing myself from how terrifying this would be in reality, I got 2 major questions for this 15-year-old girl. One, what was one? Oh, if you saw somebody come up in the middle of the night, like where they shouldn't be, why would you just stare at them? I would be running, I would be grabbing a knife, calling 911, going up to my little sister to make sure she's alive and okay. Like, that's pretty rude just to like worry about yourself when your little sister's in your house, you know what I'm saying? Like, so bad sister award for her. And 2, this goes with that, y'all, don't pull your covers over your head if something scary is happening. That only works if you're watching a movie. Like, did she think the glass door was a TV? Ooh, this one is, okay, I like the picture. Starry night, very pretty, very creepy setting. Going back to the whole camping thing. A friend of mine from college had a project for his astronomy class, and he needed to take progression pictures of a constellation over the course of a night. He went out to a field in the middle of nowhere, that's where he messed up, and set up his camera on a timer next to his truck where he slept that night. Next morning, he's looking through his pictures and he sees a picture of the constellation, a picture of the constellation, a picture of him sleeping in his truck, a picture of the constellation, a picture of the constellation. I don't know how he could go to the middle of nowhere and sleep in his truck. Are people this brave? Is that considered stupid? Because like in my eyes, that's kind of considered stupid. But to maybe you think that's like nothing. That's not even brave. Maybe you think, oh, he's in the middle of nowhere. What's there to be afraid of? Besides serial killers and mythical creatures, there's bears, okay? That's something very real that to be terrified of. And, you know, the list could go on and on. There's just a lot of things to be scared of. And apparently, I am justified in my fear because something was out there taking a picture of him while he slept. So, at least I'm not going to get pictures taken of me when I'm sleeping. Hopefully. I probably... The roommate's death. I heard about a girl who went back to her dorm room late one night to get her books before heading to her boyfriend's room for the night. She entered, but she did not turn on the light, knowing that her roommate was sleeping. She stumbled around the room in the dark for several minutes, gathering books, clothes, toothbrush, whatever, before finally leaving. The next day, she came back to her room to find it surrounded by police. They asked if she lived there, and she said yes. They took her into the room, and there, written in blood on the wall, were the words, "Aren't you glad you didn't turn on the light?" Her roommate was being murdered while she was getting her things. Okay, I am so glad that I didn't live in a dorm. Like, whenever I visited friends that were in dorms, there was just like a creepy vibe in a dorm. I don't know, it's because they tend to look older and like a little run down. I don't know, something about it. Like the air is stifling. Maybe it's just like the ones I've been to, but I always kind of got bad vibes whenever I like would go into a dorm. Maybe that was like a haunted dorm and I just like knew it without knowing it. I digress. I don't know. That's terrifying. But again, with the logistics of the story, how'd she not hear? Like, I get if the roommate was already dead and the murderer was in the dorm room while she was getting her things, that makes sense. But how is the roommate being murdered while she was getting her things? Like, wouldn't she have heard struggling or breathing or... wouldn't she have smelt blood? I got some questions for this one. Still scary though. Okay, what's this one? The dead boyfriend. Oh, so we just got a lot of dead people. A lot of internet urban legends just love dead people, apparently. A girl and her boyfriend are making out in his car. They had parked in the woods so no one would see them. Classic. When they were done, the boy got out to pee and the girl waited for him in the safety of the car. After waiting 5 minutes, the girl got out of the car to look for her boyfriend. I mean, he might have been pooping, but whatever. Suddenly, she sees a man in the shadows. Scared, she gets back in the car to drive away when she hears a very faint squeak, squeak, squeak. This continued a few seconds until the girl decided she had no choice but to drive off. She hit the gas as hard as possible but couldn't go anywhere because someone had tied a rope from the bumper of the car to a nearby tree. Okay. Well, the girl slams on the gas again and then she hears a loud scream. She gets out of the car and realizes that her boyfriend is hanging from the tree. The squeaky noises were his shoes slightly scraping the top of the car. Oh my gosh, that is terrifying. So there's a killer out there, but he doesn't actually do the killing. That's crazy. Here's a horror story, but it doesn't just end with someone dying. It you know, now her life is ruined because she had a part, I guess, in killing her boyfriend, but like not really, but I mean technically. Whoa, that is some emotional drama right there. Oh my gosh, what am I looking at? What is this a picture of? A male dancer in a really crazy Halloween costume. It almost looks like he went for, like, he couldn't decide between sexy and scary for Halloween, so he just did both. This story and photo will give you the actual chills. Oh, okay, fun. The story goes that in 1979, a family was visiting Sydney and were waiting to board a ferry to a theme park. While they were waiting, a small parade of pagan costume dancers snaked their way through the crowd. One odd-looking reveler with a cow horn mask came over to the family that was waiting and posed next to one of the sons. Their mom snapped a photo of the odd-horned man and Damien. Later that day, there was a horrible fire on one of the rides at the park, and several people died, including Damien, his brother, and his father. The cause of the fire was investigated for years without any reason for the cause. The story gets even more strange after the mom developed the camera roll some years later and found the photo of Damien and the man in the occult costume. Some people have pointed out that the cow horns on the man resemble the god Moloch, I think. I don't want to say it a third time in case I'm going to be summoning something, you know what I'm saying? Who was worshipped by having sacrifices involving children burnt by fire. The man in the costume was never identified or heard from again. Yup, that title. Yup, it gave me the chills. So, not clickbait. Okay, what I thought was just like a silly Halloween look will inspire my nightmares tonight. That is terrifying. Oh my gosh, I hope this isn't true. I hope this is just like what I said. Please don't be real. I'm just gonna go with that's not real. This is an urban legend. It's not real. I hope. Ooh, that is so creepy. The creepy clown. Oh gosh. You know, I didn't really think I was afraid of clowns until I started reading massive amounts of creepypastas where clowns are a common theme. And you know, well, I'm not gonna be terrified of a clown if I like walk past one at like an event. But like, if I were to see a clown when in an area that a clown shouldn't be, yeah, I'm walking the other way. So this was a chain letter. Ooh, okay. A few years ago, a mother and father decided they needed a break, so they wanted to head out for a night on the town. So they called their most trusted babysitter. When the babysitter arrived, the two children were already fast asleep in bed, so the babysitter just got to sit around and make sure everything was okay with the children. Later in the night, the babysitter got bored, and so she wanted to watch TV, but she couldn't watch it downstairs because they didn't have cable downstairs. The parents didn't want their children watching too much garbage. Well, this just feels old. So she called them and asked them if she could watch cable TV in the parents' room. Of course, the parents said it was okay, but the babysitter had one final request. She asked if she could cover up the large clown statue in the bedroom with a blanket or cloth because it made her nervous. The phone line was silent for a moment, and the father, who was talking to the babysitter at that time, said, "Take the children and get out of the house. We'll call the police. We don't have a clown statue." The children and the babysitter got murdered by the clown. It turned out to be that the clown was a killer that escaped from jail. If you don't repost this to 10 peeps within 5 minutes, the clown will be standing next to your bed at 3 a.m. with a knife in his hand. Wow, okay, that escalated incredibly fast. It makes me glad that... Oh, it's my dog. I just like heard scuttling outside my door. Oh, okay, I'm getting too freaked out. I'm afraid there's gonna be a clown statue behind me. Oh wait, it wasn't a clown statue. It was a murderer. Oh god. One day something's gonna be behind me. Actually, why would I say that? Why would I ever say that? That's a horrible thing for me to say. Okay, I think that's enough internet urban legends for today because I'm terrified. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up so I know you liked it and want to hear more urban legends. And if you've heard of an internet urban legend that I didn't include or a different variation, please leave it down below. I would like to talk about some more. Maybe we'll cover some more in the future if you guys want to hear more, because it's the internet. There's a lot more scary stories out there. Well, until next time, keep up the radness, and I'll see you guys so soon. Bye. I'm like really debating on rearranging my desk so that my back is against the wall, just so like I feel better.